everybody, what's going on? Hope you're having a good week. Happy Thursday. It's a Thursday night rundown. That's what I'm now calling the stream, because every Thursday we're going to run down the news of the week, talk about some things that have been going on, and hopefully go into the weekend strong and well rested and ready to go. So hope you guys are doing well. A lot to talk about. A lot of stuff's happened over the past week, especially today. Everything's blown up with like the Steven Crowder stuff, which I'm probably not going to really talk too much about that. But man, it's been a pretty crazy week, especially for pop culture. A lot of trailers that have come out. So we got a lot of news to talk. The main couple things are in the title, but we do have some other topics. I got some Indy 5 rumors. We could review the Mando trailer. I know everyone's so excited about that. Talk about The Last of Us. So a lot of stuff we can talk about, but looks like we got a couple people already here in the chat. What's going on, Bobby? Channel member of mine. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Does this mean that they're going to remove that We Are Siamese song out of Lady and the Tramp? I wouldn't put anything past them. That article is very, very interesting, and I'm going to get to that here shortly. The Disney bending the knee. I saw that and I was like, it was only a matter of time before they throw all the woke politics out the door, because the money is king and they are hurting for money right now. But we'll get to that here shortly. Philip Hawkins, my friend, hope you're doing well, sir. Thursday night, let's do this. Got a lot to talk about. Oh man, Vader fanatic. Got some Star Wars stuff to talk about today too. So I hope you're doing well. I hope everything's going well with you, and I know you gotta get some more videos on your channel, man. I know you're excited about Mandalorian, and I'm sure you're gonna do some review videos of that, so I'm looking forward to that and see how those go for you. So let's hop into the first topic here that I want to talk about. I think it's primarily the Alec Baldwin nonsense, and I know a lot of you have heard about this already long ago. I mean, it's already been a freaking year, which is crazy, and nothing's come of it. And finally, we hear that charges are going to be dropped on him, the armorer, and the assistant director has already struck a plea deal, which is going to be horrible for him. But let's get into the article and pull this up here real quick so I can show you. Scott Davis, my friend, hope you're doing well. I'm glad to have you here. Like I said, got a lot to talk about. And we even have some indie news for you. I did see a rumor pop up that I want to talk about and see if it's actually true. It is rumor, but it's always fun to speculate and talk about some things. So in the chat too, let me know. I have that like background music going that, if that's too loud or if my mic's off or whatever, let me know if it's like too loud or whatever. I've been changing up some things and trying some stuff, and sometimes you just turn the computer on, and even though you haven't touched the setting, everything's completely off and screwed up. So, and I'm not good at the technical side of these things anyway. So, but let's see here. Let's go to the first article of the night. If you haven't heard, like I said, Alec Baldwin has been officially charged in the Rust shooting back in 2021, and his lawyers have actually responded already. And like I said, these charges dropped, all this information dropped earlier today, and he's already responded. So in my video, if you guys watched it earlier, I assumed, based on the charges that were being dropped and the way the prosecutor's coming out, normally they'll kind of work out some type of plea deal. The assistant director, David Halls, I believe is his name, he's already worked out a deal. He's worked out something where it's just kind of like probation, and he more than likely he is going to testify against Baldwin if it goes to court. Well, it sounds like he's going to fight it. He's not going to have a plea deal based on what the lawyer is saying. It sounds like he's going to be taking it to trial, which I don't think is a very good idea. I think this is a bad move for him. Not that I care about him at all, because he's kind of a piece of trash in my opinion. But nevertheless, if he takes this to trial, I don't think it's going to work out in his favor. But the article states here, Alec Baldwin's lawyer calls the Rust shooting criminal charges a terrible miscarriage of justice. So this is what he stated as this information came out. It says, this decision distorts Helena Hutchins' tragic death and represents a terrible miscarriage of justice. Mr. Baldwin had no reason to believe that there was a live bullet in the gun or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked who assured him the gun did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges and we will win. Like I said, I don't think that's a very good idea considering the massive amount of evidence that they have against him. That really horrible interview that he did on 2020 where he just sounded extreme. And remember, he's already been to court a couple of times about this civilly. Other people have sued him and stuff. And he's blatantly just said, I don't feel guilty. I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my problem. And, you know, if anybody knows anything about gun safety, everyone required is responsible for gun safety. If someone hands you a weapon, I don't care if you're on a movie set or not, it's your responsibility for that weapon to know what's in it, to be not pointing it at people, even if you do have blanks. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. So this kind of stuff really irks me because I am a fanatic when it comes to weapon safety. Like if I go shooting with family or friends or whatever, it's like all that training kicks in and I'm kind of yelling at people. If I see stupid shit, if I see your, I just said priority demonetized, whatever. But yeah, flagging people with the rifle or your pistol or whatever the case may be. And you could see in that photograph right before the accident, he pointed it directly at the cinematographer. So, and I guess that's the shot they were trying to get, but there's definitely ways that they could have went around this to where loss of life wasn't going to happen. Let's see. I jumped some people. Sorry, the chat jumped. Bobby says, I heard they cut most of Phoebe. Oh, yes. We will get to the indie stuff here shortly. But Order Shills, execute Order Shills 66. Yeah, F that guy indeed. Yeah, he's absolutely trash human being. And the fact, again, that he's fighting this, I mean, I get it, right? He doesn't want to go to jail. But at the end of the day, if you're a good human being, you own up to what you did wrong, which he did. He cost someone their life, and he acts like he did nothing. So, honestly, good. I really hope something positive comes out of this. I hope he ends up in jail. And it is satisfying because I think, and let me know if you guys felt this way too. I assumed, you know, Hollywood elitist, right? I was like, he's gonna walk. They all do. No one ever gets in trouble. Or like the Ezra Miller thing, right? They'll get time served. They'll just plea out. They'll get no time. They'll get some bull crap probationary period and nothing ever happens to him. So I really hope, I mean, he's facing like 5 years of federal time is my understanding, or prison time, at least. I don't know about federal prison, but prison nonetheless. And I really hope that if he's convicted and found guilty, he gets the highest extent, or he gets found guilty on all charges, not just the latter of the misdemeanors and whatnot. Philip says he's going to settle. Otherwise, Nick Ricciuto. Oh yeah, that's going to be, dude, they are going to have a field day with those. If they cover this live, woo, man, if talk about making some money for those YouTubers. Holy crap. Let's see. There's a chain of custody. The second goes in his hand. He has to confirm. Absolutely. Anytime, like I said, I can't speak on a movie set, right? But I can only imagine those gun safety regulations and rules don't change when you're on set, right? If I hand a pistol to anybody, first off, I usually, right, it's unloaded and it's opened so you can see. So like as a revolver, the chamber would be available so I can inspect the chamber. You could show the person, hey, this is unloaded or whatever the case may be. I don't know if actors load their rounds or whatnot. I don't know what the protocol is. I would imagine it's the same, but again, Hollywood's weird, right? So I don't really know if they hand it to them already prepared. I would imagine not, because that's not how normal gun safety is. As soon as you, like Bobby just said, as soon as you take the weapon, you're responsible for it. You have to make sure you have to clear it, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. You know your target, what lies behind it. These normal rules most people know about. I would imagine that applies into Hollywood ways of things. But again, this is how they are. And yeah, so he's definitely going to be fighting it. And I think that's a very, very bad decision on his part. But honestly, good, because it'll be good to see him actually pay for something that he did wrong. It says here, he didn't do any of the things he was supposed to do to make sure the people around him were safe. Karamak Altweiss said Thursday to CNN about Baldwin's alleged negligence handling the prop gun after the charges were made public. They didn't exercise due caution, lack of care on that set. And that's another thing too. Remember, he wasn't just the guy holding the pistol, right? He was in charge of everything that was going on, because this, I believe, was his production. Like, he was responsible for it. So at the end of the day, the liability lies on him, the people that he hired and whatnot. And that armorer, I mean, the Gutierrez Reed woman was absolute joke. I remember a lot of the interviews that they had her, like the body cam footage, and she's an absolute disaster. You could tell she was just probably some type of, oh, we know her, she'll be cheap, like she knows somebody that got her the job or whatever. And this is what happens when you cut corners, especially when you're dealing with weapons. So let's see. Scott says here, what I want to know is, where did they get the armorer from? Craig, yeah, exactly. I think, Scott, my understanding is that she knew somebody in the business, like her dad was somebody or something, I thought, and don't hold me to it, I'm not 100% sure. This is a year ago that I remember reading articles. So, but I believe she knew somebody in the business, which is what got her job. She obviously wasn't qualified, right? And again, you cut corners with weapons, you're going to have a bad day. And again, there was also multiple reports where on downtime between filming, they were shooting these weapons like live fire with live rounds, target practice. That shouldn't even be on set. I don't care where you're at, whatever. That's insane. That's insanity to me. When we did stuff in the Marine Corps and we were using blanks, first off, there was obviously something on the rifle at the end of the rifle tip for the blanks to operate correctly for the blowback of the rifle. I'm not trying to get too technical here, but regardless, when we did those training exercises, not one live round was even in the vicinity. That's just common sense, right? And the government is a complete failure at 90% of everything, and even they were able to accomplish that without anybody getting hurt. So Alec Baldwin and his group of cronies are just complete waste of life. But again, it is what it is. David, my friend, channel member, hope you're doing well. Glad you're hanging out with us, and got a lot of good stuff to talk about, so hopefully you can stick around and join in on the fun. Execute order shills. By the way, I like the reaction video, Matt. Should do more of those. Reaction video to which one? I do so many videos. A recent one? I'm trying to think. I went blank. Maybe you're talking about like The Last of Us? Let me know. Scott Davis, Baldwin was probably acting like his smug self, goofing around with the gun, and it went off. I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it one bit for sure, because he's an absolute clown. Let's see. Yeah, this is his passion project, my understanding. Bobby says she's the daughter of a famous armorer. I just know. Yes, I knew it was something with her dad. Something with her dad is that's how she got and was well known to get the job, is my understanding. There's photos of the armorer with her gun barrel in the. Oh my God. That doesn't surprise me. Oh, the Mando trailer. Yeah. See, I like doing, yeah, sorry about that. My brain's fried. It's been a week. It's been a hell of a week. I'm glad it's Thursday. I like doing trailer reviews. I was going to do one with like Scream and whatnot. The hard part is, though, most of the time I can't get around the copyright stuff. Like, Disney's really good about it. They won't strike your channel or copyright or anything like that. But like with Scream and some of these other ones, man, you can't. Like, they automatically get you, and they don't want to do it. So, but I do it. I love doing those. They're so much fun. Even though I'm still tweaking it, I know it was way too loud. Like, I couldn't, like, me trying to talk over it, I screwed it up. But after I recorded it, I played it back, and I was like, oh crap. And I was like, well, I'm not redoing it, so it is what it is. Gonna take it for what we got. Hail, Cajun Corey, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. It's okay. We're all there sometimes. So yeah. So it says here. Let's see about. They're talking now about in the article about Hannah, the armorer. It says. Let me get back to what the prosecutor said. She said, quote, "An actor doesn't get a free pass just because they're an actor," she went on to say. And then they started talking about Gutierrez, the armorer, says she's also been charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Hannah is and always been very emotional and sad about this tragic accident. Aw, Oh, she's very emotional. She's sad. Damn. Nuts. I wonder what, what's her name's Haley Hutchinson's, husband and kids and mom, and if she's got a sister or friends. I wonder how they feel, but hey, the Armorer's sad, so I guess we should, give her a break. Okay. But she did not commit involuntary manslaughter. Well, what would we call it then? Negligence? These charges are the result of a very flawed investigation and an inaccurate understanding of the full facts. We intend to bring the full truth to light and believe Hannah will be exonerated of wrongdoing by a jury. Highly doubt that. I think, if anything, what's going to happen is they're all going to start turning on each other. That's what's going to happen, because these are going to be two different trials, and they're all going to start turning on each other, and it's going to be glorious. Like I said, we already see the assistant director, I believe, he's turned on him. He's already has a plea deal. He's going to be testifying against both of them. So it's just like the Titanic, man. When the boat starts to go down, you see the rats running. Execute says, what's wild is that he talked to her husband. I know, I remember that. Yeah, he talked to her husband right after, like, hey, sorry, big deal. I mean, could you imagine being the husband? I mean, it would be straight Punisher, but hey, it is what it is. Here's where we're at. So, but yeah, they're talking. I mean, again, what do you guys think? Do you think that anything will actually come of this? Do you think he'll be held accountable, or do you think he'll get off on something? I'm curious to see what you guys think. Actually, I think, let's see. All right. I threw a poll up there. I don't ever do these. I'm trying some new things, guys. If you can't tell, I'm trying to up the game a little bit. I got an overlay going. I'm trying to get some intros. Trying to really change some stuff. So, working on some things. Bear with my boomer self and my own incompetence of how to do this stuff. David says her incompetence got someone game ended, and his carelessness and being a prick got the woman off too. Yeah, I 100% agree. Nah, it's okay. I completely understand. Bobby says probably less than a year and then house arrest. God, imagine. You imagine if that's the case. If they're found guilty and that's what you get for causing someone's life to end. Absolutely insanity. Philip Hawkins, depends if Alec will cooperate or be an ass. Well, he's definitely, this article that I'm going over, his lawyers already said, we're fighting. Like, he is not, I thought too, like he would take a plea deal or something. Nope. He's like, nope, we're fighting the charges. So, and this prosecutor wants to have a field day with him. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, they are going to tear him up. Absolutely. Normally I'd say he'd get off without much, but the prosecutor really seems like she's going after him. Yeah, she is kind of came out with like a vengeance today. Because like I said, I thought most of the time, these prosecutors that try to sweep this stuff under the rug, she was pretty strong in some of her words. So again, it will be interesting to see what actually comes of this. I hope so. Just because, I would like to hopefully get some type of reconciliation and just something for the family, like, God, you killed their family member or something. Like, at least pay some type of crime for what you did, even if it was accidental, but because you know what, if it was any one of us that did that, we would be held accountable, and it wouldn't have waited a year. It would have been days later, if that. Probably the same day we would have been put behind bars and not even, not told, hey, we need your cell phone. And then he just says, nah, I'll give it to you whenever. And it's like, okay, no problem. So Scott says, normally I'd say, oh, we already did that one. All right, so let's move on to the next topic because I'm over. It's pretty much everything going on with this one. And I would like to move on. Let's go over the Disney stuff that I saw, because this one is really interesting, and I think it's pretty telling where the company's at, because I think they obviously have put themselves between a rock and a hard place with everything. Now, this Bounding into Comics, I like their channel and their articles and stuff, but sometimes their site is just so heavy with ads, which I get, right? They got to do what they got to do, but it kills my computer sometimes. So it's saying here, the Walt Disney Company and Marvel Studios to educate actors in order to placate communist China. So essentially, they are bending the knee to China once again, because we have seen where, if you've noticed, a lot of movies are not moving forward. They're not being released in China, and they're losing out on massive amounts of money because Disney's going so woke, right? They've pushed that nonsense, right? And they're doubling down, and we know China doesn't tolerate that stuff. They don't tolerate that nonsense. They don't want the LGBT. And I'm not, again, nothing against LGBTQ or any of that stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But you understand what I'm talking about when I say the woke nonsense. They don't want any of that whatsoever. Like, they are very, very strict. Even their own version of TikTok is nothing like the one in America. It's very educational sense or focused, versus ours is pretty much designed to dumb us down as human beings, to make us very dumb. And Philip Hawks, thank you, my friend. Thank you for becoming a channel member. I greatly appreciate it. Actually, and that's another thing too, and in case anyone is interested, and for new members, I'm working on more members content. I just released an unboxing of like random comic books that you can get from, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ollie's Bargain Outlet, where you just get like a stack of comic books and it's random. So I did that. I do a member stream on Sunday mornings, usually about 11 a.m. Eastern. So we talk about just kind of other randomness, and I got more content coming out for members too. So thank you for joining, my friend. Welcome to the friendship, and hope to see you on some streams and some videos and whatnot. So thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah, I tried ad block, but like I said, my goal for the first quarter of this year is to have a new PC, because my PC is terrible. It is an old PC, and ad blocker doesn't work well, and it gives me issues. So, Bobby says, yeah, Top Gun has done great without their money. Yes, absolutely. And because there is a way, right? But Disney doesn't want to, that takes creativity. That takes them trying to lean away from that kind of content. They don't want to do that, right? They're not going to. They don't want to appeal to the audience that went and saw Top Gun, even though that's the majority, unfortunately, for them. But hey, good. They don't need our money. So let's get into the article here. It says, a new report claims that the Walt Disney Company and Marvel Studios will begin educating their actors and executives in order to placate communist China to ensure the release of future films in the country. How dystopian is that? That's so insane to me. The report comes from The Hollywood Reporter's Kim Masters and Alex Baldwin as they covered an investor battle inside the Walt Disney Company, pitting current CEO Bob Iger against former Marvel executive Ike Perlmutter and hedge fund manager Nelson Peltz, who wants a seat on the Disney board. I heard about this feud going on. I didn't really understand it because I don't know the ins and outs of this kind of stuff. Amid the reports, Masters and Baldwin claim that future Marvel films will not feature any Chinese villains, but that the talent will be well schooled to watch their words. How disgusting is that, right? First Amendment poof out the door because we need that overseas money. Let's kowtow to communist China because hey, we need those Mickey bucks, right? Disgusting. All right, this report comes after the Walt Disney Company's official Chinese social media accounts announced that Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania secured theatrical releases in China. A Hollywood Reporter reported on January 7th that Marvel shared the surprise news Tuesday over its official Chinese and social media accounts. These two titles would be the very first movie of Marvel's Phase 4 to screen in China, as the last approved theatrical release from the studios were Spider-Man Far From Home and Avengers Endgame. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm surprised Wakanda Forever passed through. So let's see. He continued. Oh, this is Yellow Flash apparently commented on the report, and he's continued, said, "It's always Disney that does this kind of crap. Disney always willing to take a step back. This is all about making as much money as possible. And, I would rather these companies not do this and not bend the knee to this country because they don't really like us." And I 100% agree with him. Again, these companies don't care about the, Pride Month. They don't care about any of that stuff, right? At the end of the day, it's bottom dollar. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about anybody. All they care about is making money. They don't care about lore. They don't care about what came before it. It's a machine. And this machine just wants to pump out as much money as possible. And I completely understand, trying to make money. I'm a capitalist. I love money. We all love money. But man, you got to have some core values here. I'm not going to sell my soul to the communists in China just to earn a buck. Like, I'm not selling out my country, and that's what these people are doing. That's why I hate this company that's one of many reasons. So let's see what else they say. Yellow Flash would also suggest that the actors will act similar to John Cena. Oh, I remember that. To John Cena when he groveled to the Chinese and apologized to them when he referred to Taiwan as a country during the promotional event for Fast and the Furious 9. I remember that. That was so just sad on John Cena's things. Like, I never really cared for him that much anyway, but then to see that, him groveling and just, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And even speaking in Mandarin, nonetheless, it was so disgusting. But you're only going to see more of that based on this. And everyone was all happy about the return of Bob Iger. And it's just going to be worse. It's only going to get worse. They're not going to get any better. It's just they're going to double down on everything. It's going to be interesting how they balance, though, the I guess woke side of things, right? Like to appeal to the lunatics on Twitter, but then also appeal to China. It's insane. And they saw that because look at how much money Avatar's making. Most of the Avatar's money is all overseas. It's not, it's made good money domestically, don't get me wrong. But the overseas is where it's made most of it. And they know that they're losing a massive amount of money by not having these Chinese releases. So they're going to do everything they can to make sure that they can get that type of money from that demographic. But it sucks though. Like we can't have a certain villain because of China. So basically, if a Chinese person was going to be a planned villain, well, now you can't be a villain anymore because we don't want to offend China. Like, that's nuts. It's insane. But I don't know. Like I said, it's not going to get better anytime soon. It's probably only going to get worse, but hopefully they just continue to lose money. So let's see. David says here, will Disney just be editing out whole parts of movies now since they're back in China? They're going to do something. I would imagine that they're going to have multiple cuts. I mean, hell, they take multiple cuts of movies anyway because all their movies suck and they have to. They do test screenings and most of the time they're horrible. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have alternate versions for overseas releases and then you keep the nonsense here for us. So American Chavez will have on a leather jacket and they'll CGI Cavill over one of her moms. Probably. I think, isn't she coming to theaters too? My understanding, like she's coming to a movie, I believe. It's such a joke. Philip Hawkins says Disney's trying to step back the woke actors' statements. Yep. Oh yeah. They're going to make them. And look, you already see it. A lot of these actors, like they want that Disney money. They don't care. They can care less. What was it? Don Cheadle, right? He made some type of comment about, what's his name? I'm horrible with names, guys. You guys know this already. the My Pillow guy. I don't remember the creator's name, but he made some type of like kind of crappy remark to him because he posted something on Twitter about being sober for I think 14 years or something. And Don Cheadle made fun of him. And it's like, yeah, you'll make fun of him, but you'll work for Disney, who is pretty much hand in hand with communist China and actually has like those camps and stuff. That's acceptable and that's okay. But don't talk about that. But let's mock this guy. Yes, Corey. Mike Lindell. That's who he was making fun of online. You know what I mean? So these people are just absolute hypocrites. But hey, that gives him, those like that social credit score system. Like, oh, you're on our team, so there you go. You get a check, little check box here. Let's see. David says they're going to call up Elon and ask him to lock Mark Ruffalo out of his. Oh, Mark Ruffalo is a lunatic on Twitter. Holy crap, that is a sinking ship over there. This whole thing's disgusting. Execute like this is. It's just nonstop. It's never going to change with them. Let's see. All right. So, yeah, this is the main article I want to talk about, just them bending the knee, the fact that they're going to have these people, these actors go through this kind of like pre-education thing. And I remember seeing stuff like this, too, and I think it was more of the music industry. I think when if you guys remember when Nicki Minaj was going through all that crazy nonsense, and she was live streaming a bunch of stuff like, where they tell you, like, when you go over to overseas in China, like, you can't say this, you can't do this, you have to say this, you have to walk this line. Like, there's no joke over here. This country, we'll burn our own flags or whatever, and nothing. You do that over in China, you do anything disrespectful to the state over there or to the country, dude, you're not going to see the light of day. And I'm not saying that that's what we should do here, but I think we should have more respect for we have a lot of problems, though, our country. I don't. If anyone took an American flag and turned it upside down right now and hung it on a flagpole, I couldn't disagree with them, because we are absolutely in a state of distress in our country. And unfortunately, as I said, it seems like it's getting worse before it gets better. But we're heading into a real life Red Dawn. I think, as they stated a long time ago, Bobby, right? Like the Japanese during World War II said that it's foolish to invade the homeland of the United States because behind every blade of grass is someone with a rifle, which is 100% true. But that's why they're taking these steps, right? They've been doing these slow steps to not only do that, but you have most of the people in our own country now, like our youth, they hate our country. They hate their own country. They wouldn't fight for our country. If we got invaded today, most people would just be filming it on their phones. They wouldn't even take up arms. They would just be like, oh man, that's crazy. They wouldn't even care. And so it's been a slow process, unfortunately, and it's really sad. And I think about like veterans and stuff, like World War II vets, World War I vets, Vietnam, all these people, their lives were lost to fight for our country and to do good, and salvage what makes us great, and the freedoms that we represent. And then to see what's going on now and how the youth can care less and hates it so much, it really, really disgusts me and upsets me. But I don't know. David says mailing a picture of an army guy in front of toy tanks to the Chinese people. All right. Let's pull up another Bounding into Comics article. Now, this one I will keep in mind. This is rumor. This is rumor alert. So I don't know if any of this is true, but I do like to speculate and talk about rumors because they're fun, and it's probably a possibility that it could be wrong. So who knows? But it's funny to laugh at and see if it's right or wrong. Now, this article states the latest Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny rumor claims that Phoebe Waller-Bridge's role is being significantly reduced. Now, I don't know how true that is. I have heard things where John Williams, I believe, was the one who is the composer that's doing the score, had slipped up and said something like they are redoing the ending, so they had to rescore it. Who knows? I personally, if I had to right now, I personally don't think this is true. I mean, we're talking about Kathleen Kennedy here. We're talking about Disney. I understand that people probably aren't going to be happy with this movie, but to cut her out of this movie, I highly doubt it. I don't think that's the case. Execute Order Show says, I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't believe this either, but we'll see. Scott Davis, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it's true, and I hope I honestly want it to be a good movie, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. So let's dig into this supposed rumor and see if it has where it comes from, because I don't know. I just saw this article earlier, figured it would be interesting to talk about on stream, see what you guys think, and go from there. So, all right, so we're going to end this poll. I completely forgot about the poll, guys. I already boomered it. So the poll says here, so most of you say yes, he will be found guilty. 22% no. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see if it actually what happens with Alec Baldwin. But I hope. Let's hope. All right, so the article states a new rumor concerning Lucasfilm's upcoming Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny film claims actress Phoebe Waller-Bridges' role in the film is being significantly reduced. The latest rumors come from YouTuber Overlord DVD, who states, quote, "It seems everything is shifting on Indy 5, and you're going to laugh your ass off when you hear this, folks, because it not only looks like Phoebe Waller-Bridge has lost her new hat, it looks like she's being cut out of the movie as much as possible." Okay, listen, for the record, I have no problem with Doomcock or Overlord DVD. I watch some of his videos. I find them entertaining. I understand their rumor. I don't go off of it, right? Like, it is what it is. It's enjoyable for me because I just take it for what I take the grain of salt, and I understand that there's a grain of salt. So, with that being said, I personally don't think this is real. And that's why I don't really myself ever really like go into big rumors, because it's just it is what it is. But so let's talk about what's been heard. So, quote, "From what I've heard," and again, I'm stressing that this is just a rumor. There you go. There's the there's the parachute in case it goes south. "This is a highly fluid situation, as you might imagine. Disney's come to realize that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is problematic in the park. Lines that were meant to be funny and endearing in a sassy Princess Leia kind of way are delivered with Fleabag's patent snarkiness. She's abrasive, she's insulting to Indy, and she just weighs down the movie. Wouldn't they have known this, though, a long time ago?" He later states, "But the bottom line is, folks, in addition to a new ending, they are radically re-editing the film. Sources say to introduce a new element in the story. Phoebe Waller-Bridge gets kidnapped and vanishes for a large part of the film, and she has to be saved by Indy." Okay. Now, I did hear from other rumors that they are doing a lot of the test screenings apparently were really bad. Again, I don't know if they're valid rumors, no idea, and that they were doing kind of some reshoot stuff. So I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what some of you all are saying here. Bobby says Indiana Jones ended at The Last Crusade for me. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, there's only three. There's only three. Scott Davis says, yeah, it was a perfect ending. Completely agree with you. Philip says, Doomcock, no disrespect, but I'm really not buying it now. Yeah, and again, yeah, I see some of you all. I just take it for the amusement that it is, right? Like those kind of rumors. I don't knock them for it. I don't buy into rumors. I don't buy into anything, right? I just kind of take it, listen to it, and go, okay, well, maybe not. And yeah, I see a lot of you guys kind of, I think, feel the same way. just kind of laughing at it and, going from there. But let's see. Bobby says, perfect ending, riding off in the sunset, literally. Yeah, that's how these people continue to ruin stuff, man. It's like you have a perfect ending, just leave it alone. Just go on to something else. But no. Then we all have to have our own little headcanon, right? And be like, well, my headcanon ends at this movie. Same thing with Star Wars. Like, oh, nothing goes beyond Return of the Jedi. Everything else is garbage. But I don't know. So I'm not going to really focus too much on this rumor, though, now that I know, like, where it's coming from, what they're saying. Like I said, I have heard the John Williams thing makes sense because I heard that. I actually listened to him slip up and say that he had to rescore something because they changed an ending or they changed something. So they are changing things. To this extent, who knows? I have no idea. But I can't imagine them cutting her out of the movie completely or a lot, but you never know. He could be right. He could be completely wrong too. So I don't know, but it's interesting to talk about. What do you guys, I know most of you just told me what you think. I personally don't think Kathleen Kennedy is going to take her out of the movie. I think they're going to, if anything, put her in more of the movie as much as possible because that's what they do. It's Lucasfilm. They're not changing. They're not going to do anything else. And oh man, this actually works. Okay, I updated. So guys, just so you know, if you have a Rumble account, I do have the channel on Rumble. I'm trying to build up over there too because I'm anticipating that one day YouTube is going to remove all of us, the bigger fish first, and then it'll slowly trickle down to us. I think it's just a matter of time because they don't like us commenting and about these kind of things. So if you have Rumble and if you want to follow me over there, I would appreciate it. So just wanted to let you guys know. And then if I get big enough, then maybe I can start streaming and doing things on Rumble as well. But I think that's the alternative that people are going. I also have an Odyssey, and I send everything over there. Same stuff on YouTube, I send over there as well. So, yeah, blame Spielberg for Indy 4. I know, that was such a disaster. Bobby says, I blame Spielberg for listening to George Lucas for 4. Yeah, both of those two were that was not a good mix-up for once. That did not pan out. Cajun, yeah, sounds too good to be true. I 100% agree. I think if anything, they're changing some things up because the test screenings were bad, but I don't personally believe that she's going to be removed and whatnot. And that's why a lot of times, like when I see these kind of articles, I don't do videos on them. I don't really like covering videos of rumors and stuff. Sometimes I will, but I usually talk about it on live streams. It's first off, it's more entertaining to see what you guys think firsthand. And then, I don't want to. Making a video takes some time. I don't want to take time on something, on a rumor, and then look like a complete idiot. More so than I already do. So, Scott says, I get what they were trying to do with Indy 4 with that era, but the execution was pretty bad. Plus, they just waited way too long after. Yeah, that's another thing too. Time. The timing is always off. Like, if you're going to do another movie, you have that significant time frame. I mean, God, he looks so rough. He just looks worn out. At least in number 4, right? He was old, but he wasn't that old. Like, it was still believable. Now he looks like, how old is he? How old is Harrison Ford? 80s? Right? It's got to be. I think indie stories work best for the 1930s. Yeah, I think that they should have just, if they were going to make movies, it should have just been him as young, right? And I think if they're smart, which they're not, what would you rather have more TV series of? Would you rather have more TV series of Star Wars, or would you have more TV series of, like, say, Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones, I think personally, is the better franchise or IP to do a TV series with. They've already done one a long time ago, but that would be ideal. And then maybe after the TV series, right, or a couple of them, then maybe have a movie with a new Indiana Jones, meaning a recast, because they can easily recast. Yeah, it's not the same, but do you not think Chris Pratt would be a good Indiana Jones? I think Chris Pratt would be a wonderful Indiana Jones. I think he could pull it off perfectly. But they don't like that. So yeah, so Harrison Ford is 80, and I think, what would Indy's age be in this latest movie? He's got to be up there. He still looks terrible, right? Like, it's just not believable when I see him. Do you really see him jumping from car to car? No, I see him barely making it to the bathroom on time without not peeing all over himself. And then on top of that, now we're going to include time travel. And again, I'm not trying to crap on anyone's parade, but anytime I hear time travel, I get scared. I get a little nervous because time travel is hard to do. Alan, my friend, hope you're doing well. I am doing great. It's Thursday, almost Friday. I'm excited. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. And Monday, if I'm correct, the 23rd, Monday at 7:45 on Alan's channel, we will be reviewing Dale and Tucker versus Evil. It's going to be fun live stream. So I will put that on the community tab. That way you guys are well aware. So if you want to come check out, it'll be this Monday at 7:45 Eastern. We will be doing that stream, and that will be a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite movies. It's just one of those like oddball movies it's so hilarious, and it's there's some corny moments, but it's so funny. Oh, I laugh so hard every time I watch that movie. Scott says, yeah, Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and it was actually pretty good. Yeah, it was a pretty good show. And that would be a perfect Disney Plus show. Indiana Jones, right? It's sad now talking about Star Wars, how we've turned that into a TV series IP. Like, there's more TV shows. All of my life as I was a kid, I'm like, man, I wish we had Star Wars TV series. Now we have more than enough, and you're like, oh my God, please don't stop doing TV series. I mean, it would help if they were really good, but Mandalorian, we'll jump into Mandalorian here in just a second. Phoebe Waller is the next Indy. Yeah, I know she is. Unfortunately, that's what it seems to be anyway. Bobby says, so Harrison Ford has to do that sensitivity class 2 for China since he's going to be the Red Hulk, right? Yeah, I would imagine. I'm sure he's well aware of all that type of training, and he's worked with Disney long enough. He knows how to walk the line over there and the right things and wrong things to say. Cajun Corey says it should be Indiana Jones and the Nursing Home of Doom. Oh, man. Let's see. Philip Hawkins says, yeah, he was in his 30s in 77 Star Wars. He has to be pushing 80, 85. At least. Yeah, Chris Pratt, I think, would be a fantastic Indiana Jones. He showed, him in the Jurassic Park movies had a Indiana Jones feel to it, and he did good in those, even though those movies weren't the greatest, but he did well. Absolutely execute. Star Wars belongs in the theaters. I don't mind some shows, I think for The Mandalorian, for what it is, would be, but if they only had The Mandalorian show and then maybe some animated stuff and then you have movies, that's fine. I think that would be ideal. And I've always said this, The Mandalorian show should not have been this kind of Marvel nonsensical tie-in to everything else. It should have been like a Star Trek show in a sense where you're following a Mandalorian bounty hunter, or maybe not even a Mandalorian, a bounty hunter, travel throughout the galaxy, doing different adventures, kind of like Orville, right? Where it's every episode is something completely different. They kind of tie in, but they don't. You know what I mean? So that's what I think they should have done. Not this, what they're doing now, where it's just the big leads up to this big bad, and because then after that, then what? Then what do you do? So I don't know. That's just me rambling. Cody, hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Hope you've had a good week. And we're talking about some. We're wrapping up our Indiana Jones talk, and we're actually going to get into now might as well. We're already on Star Wars, so I think this is the trailer. No. I already have these saved, so I'm gonna. We could look over the Mando trailer. I'm not gonna play it because copyright and all that fun nonsense. But we could just kind of scroll through, and if my computer doesn't actually take a gigantic dump, but we can show this and kind of just go through. And I thought it was a good trailer, though. Let me know what you guys think. I thought it was pretty good. It started off, like I said, it's showing off all the different Mandalorians. The armor looks pretty cool. Like I said, their sets always look good. Wasn't it nice to see on a trailer in Star Wars aliens and robots and all kinds of stuff? I thought it was cool compared to like Andor, where you didn't have that. Let's go to theater mode. And does anyone else really upset or annoyed that Grogu's back? I know I had a couple people, and I don't know if you guys did, but I had a couple people that are normies, right? They don't really follow everything. And if you watch my trailer reaction, you heard this too, where some people reach out to me and they're like, why is Grogu back? They had no idea because they didn't watch the horrible Book of Boba Fett. So they're like, what happened? I thought he went with Luke. They had no idea. This is the dumbest thing, because now no one wants to watch a Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, Babu Frick. Yeah. Oh, guys, I was thinking too. I'm thinking of if depends on how many people would actually want to see this. I have yet to see The Rise of Skywalker. I haven't done it. I haven't watched it. The last movie that I watched was The Last Jedi. So what I was thinking was I can do a watch party of you guys watching it with me as I watch that horrible movie for the first time and doing a live reaction with you. Maybe. If I have enough people that want to do that and would want to laugh at that movie so we can just trash it and crap on it, possibly. But that would be, I don't know. That's up in the air. But I do want to do watch parties. So I am going to start doing those. Keep that in mind. Whether it be not bad movies, but good movies. But yeah, I definitely am doing that. Let's see. Sorry, chat's jumping here. Let's see. Scott David. Yeah, Grogu should have been gone for a while. He should. Yeah. How epic would that have been if he was gone and then came back, like, 2 or 3 seasons later or whatever, or even another season later, but one season of him completely gone. But nope. What do they care about? It's that money. They need that merch. Cajun says there's no reason for him to be back. To me, it just says they don't have faith to go on without him. He's a crutch now. Oh, absolutely. It's the Baby Yoda show starring Din Djarin. That's what this is, unfortunately. Ruins the scene where Luke, yeah, absolutely just desensitizes and murders that. Angelus, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. I'm looking forward. I think yesterday you had the wrestling stream and I missed it, but your next one, I'm going to be checking that out, dude. It's been a lot of fun watching those, so I'm looking forward to it. If you guys don't know, Angelus Draven, if you're into wrestling, he does the live stream watch parties on his channel, so I would check that out. I was a big time wrestling fan back in the day, like the Attitude Era and all that. And I've just been watching them and trying to slowly getting back into it because it's fun. Like, I'm no hardcore like I used to be, but it's still cool to watch it every now and then. And he hosts it and does it, and it's a lot of fun. So if that's something you're interested in, check out his channel, subscribe. He does some cool stuff. So execute. Don't Matt. don't watch that trash. I saw a lot of people saying that trailers. Trailer's missing somebody, Gina Carano. I saw a lot of people on, of course, toxic Twitter trashing Gina for this. Of course, because they're mentally ill, right? And of course, they have to bring her up. Terrible. LOL, yeah. Don't rot your brain watching that. Yeah. I had a couple people recommend that to me, but I would rather do watch parties of like fun stuff that we both watch. So that would be, I like I said, the last last movie I saw was The Last. I still haven't seen. I never saw Solo. I never saw any of those. And absolutely Disney canceled her because she's a conservative. Because even like now, if you guys paid attention or heard about the Philadelphia Flyers player who, for religious purposes, did not want to participate in the warm-ups on Pride Night, right? He didn't want to wear because of his religion. He didn't bash anybody. He just said, hey, it's not something I want to partake in. And of course, because he didn't bend the knee to the cathedral, right? They want him gone. They want him removed from the country. They want him not playing NHL anymore. And it's like, let's do a Christian night or a Catholic night or any other religion. And let's see these people, like, make them do that, and then see what happens. See if we get the same response. No, of course not. They wouldn't do that. But, hey, that's how it is. Angela says, yeah, don't do that to yourself and your sanity. I seen Megan. I heard Megan was pretty good, especially apparently it was like a fun horror movie. I did hear good things about it. I did see The Old Way. We could talk about that for 2 seconds. The Nicolas Cage Western. For the love of God, please don't watch that movie. I almost walked out. It was that bad. It's so cringy, terrible, and not Nicolas Cage's fault. The writing was bad. Even the music in the movie was just so off and just terrible. Like, it was just all over the place. It was a horrible Western. I mean, that should have been just a streaming, or it's going to land on Tubi. And you're going to understand that, oh, this is like a Tubi movie. Granted, Tubi has some really good stuff, but it feels like a Tubi original. Pretty bad. Soul Assassin, what's going on, my friend? That Mandalorian's antenna is bent. There's a pill for that. Yeah, it is bent, isn't it? That's hilarious. Let's see. I hated that they're using the Naboo Starfighter. Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I like the Starfighter, don't get me wrong, but they could have picked something way better than that. Yeah, didn't even notice that. Yeah, it just shows you how how bad their stuff is. Oh God, the mechanic lady is the cringiest. She was the worst thing in this trailer. Like I said, she's like, "May the Force." Like her, I don't even want to mimic her voice, but she's got that like, what's his name? The painter who's got the afro. Bob Ross. She's got a Bob Ross afro going on. Terrible. Terrible stuff. David says, I forgot the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. Yeah, a lot of people are not talking about this at all. Normally, Star Wars, man, everyone talks about it when it comes out. And I honestly think Obi-Wan was the nail in the coffin because nobody cares anymore. Angela says, we are doing a watch party for WWE Raw is 30 Monday. Ooh, okay. I will check that out. I have a stream Monday night, and then after that, that'll be on, and then after that, I'll check it out. Let me know what time. I'm sure you'll announce it, but I'll definitely be checking that out. Do I think they would recast Cara Dune? No, absolutely not. Get Dave Bautista to play Cara Dune. I could so see that. Could you not see Dave Bautista ending up in Star Wars? I can. He likes that Disney money. Apparently, they're saying that James Gunn just announced that the Guardians characters, like the actors and stuff, he loves them so much he wants to pull them to DC. So we may see them in DC at some point. Dave Bautista, I could definitely see. Matt, the movie does not exist in our headcanon, remember? Oh, no, it doesn't. Absolutely. Those movies are absolutely god-awful trash. It is funny to mock some of them, though, but no, I personally didn't want to watch it. I would watch it if, like I said, if people wanted to together, just to see my reaction. But the only scene that I remember from that movie that I've saw parts of was that garbage scene where what's his name is talking about the stormtroopers, like they fly now. Like, oh my, cringe level. Like, I wanted to put my hand through the monitor when I saw that. And then I saw the trailer where Rey's like doing a backflip over a TIE fighter. Oh God. Most Disney Star Wars films isn't worth. Yeah, I 100% agree. I enjoy Rogue One for what it was, but even if you look back now, it's still not as good as you take out the Darth. We've all mentioned this. You take out the Vader scene, it's a mediocre movie at best. Yeah, the Nick Cage, man. The Nick Cage The Old Way was garbage. Holy crap. It was so cringe bad. Nick Cage was terrible. The writing was terrible. The little girl actress was terrible. And not against anything like her, right? But it was just so... It was definitely the director's fault, the writers, how they did it, the music and score. Like, it would go from a serious tone thing to then sounding like Homeward Bound. Like the dogs are running through a lake, and it sounds like a Disney movie. Like, it made zero sense, that movie. I don't walk out of movies. I was almost... If I didn't drive 40 minutes away to see this stupid movie, I would have walked out. It's terrible. They're going after Christians too. There was a video of Twitter of some mall people freaking out. Oh, I did see that. Yeah, where it said, I think it just said like Jesus or something. And the security was like, "Come on, man, you're upsetting people. Take off your shirt." Like, it's crazy to me. But imagine going up to mall security and telling them like, "Hey, that Pride shirt upsets me, or that BLM shirt offends me." You'd be thrown in jail. It's crazy. Bobby says the old way, I think, is the same set the armor was on that almost blew out Nick Cage's eardrum. Hey, that's not good. Flaccid Phoenix, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. All Star Wars content has performed like crap. No one, yeah, I 100%, man. I think it's just there's no hype anymore. People are, I mean, you do have, you'll still always have those, like that one kid who cried during that trailer with The Rise of Skywalker, where everyone made fun of him. Not being mean, but there's people like that it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a big giant turd on a plate, they're going to eat it. Like, they're like, "Oh my God, Star Wars, I'm going to love it." But I think for the most part, it's just everyone's burnt out. And even it's just tiring, like even if you just criticize anything, if you say anything, if you look at anything, you just get yelled at or scream. You have a lunatic crying about it online. It's just, I don't know. It's not worth it. But yeah, it was it wasn't anything too crazy to me that stood out. And that's R5, right? From A New Hope. How, again, is the galaxy the size of, I hope that's not the same one that Luke found. Remember that blew up and then he took R2? The galaxy, if that's the case, the galaxy is literally the size of Manhattan. The fact that he was able to, like, it runs into the same people over and over again. It's very strange. Then yeah, there's Bob Ross. There's Grogu. March 1st. This looked kind of shitty. This scene compared to Andor, this made this look really bad. And I'm sorry that this kind of is not out like in frame and kind of pixelated. My computer is garbaggio. This is going to be trash too. The little order, you can tell this is the view from Grogu, and this is them protecting him to get him out. That's what's going on here. So who knows? And it's just going to be some generic, Jedis, of course. Execute says, yeah, for me, Obi-Wan was the coffin. I knew that. I knew a lot of people, like, that was the most anticipated show that they were going to come out with, and he was such a beloved character for especially prequel babies, and they absolutely disrespected that character in that show to a degree that it's like, I don't know, reprehensible. And that's why people are like, nah, I'm done. Like, you put all that effort into a nobody like Andor, yet Obi-Wan you treat like a clown. Philip says, this week in Star Wars only had 7.9K views after the Mandalorian announcement. That's not good. That shows you right there's a massive decline. No, kids today don't care about Star Wars at all. It was the only way the kids really got into it was usually the parents were into it and they got their kids onto it now. And now you've disrespected the parents. And they talked about this time and time again with the Disney park, where the Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be, supposed to represent the original movies. And they openly, and Kathleen Kennedy came and was like, nah, we're not doing that. We want to do something for the newer generation. They don't care. They don't give a crap. And look, for all the people, I don't understand this concept. For the people that keep saying, like, fire Kathleen Kennedy, once she's gone, we're gonna, like, now we have hope. Like, you're out of your mind. and not to be disrespectful, but anybody who thinks that Kathleen Kennedy is going to leave tomorrow and then we're magically Lucasfilm's fixed, you are crazy. There's 5 Kathleen Kennedys lined up behind her to take the seat. Like, they're all just as, if not, they'll be worse than her. Like, it's not going to get better. These are activists in charge of these things. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So everyone keeps saying, oh, Kathleen Kennedy's gone. Great. Cool. Now there's a younger one right behind her that's even more ambitious and worse. So less than 2 hours until Fire Emblem Engage drops. I have no idea what that is, David, because I'm so out of it. Is that a game? Let me know, because I know you're into that stuff. You're more on top of it than I am. I'm so out of the loop. Flaccid Phoenix, love the channel. You two are, dude, I love their banter, man, and the way they do their videos. Like, it's so entertaining to listen to them two talk. Like, that is awesome. You guys really do good stuff, because I will listen to theirs. Like, they'll do a drop a video on, like, I know they're doing a lot of Game of Thrones stuff, and it's stuff that I would never even think about. And then they'll just go on this rant or this banter back and forth about just stuff. I'm like, never thought of that. Like, you guys, I love that channel. You guys do a good job. Scott Davis says, it's a good trailer, but I can't say I'm excited. I'm any more excited to watch the new season than before it came out. Yeah, it didn't do much for me, to be quite honest. Seeing the TIE interceptors were cool. I can't, every time I see TIE fighters and X-Wings fighting and whatnot, like, I'm always going to, the little kid is going to, pop out. But why do we have these droids back here? Why are they operational? Does that make sense? Can someone explain that to me? Oh, that makes sense too. Member berries, that's why. Because weren't these all controlled by that giant satellite that was in the sky or above the universe, right? Or above the world, out in space, and then they blew that up and these all powered down. So are they just roaming around? I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. David says, the hype for season 2 for me wasn't there, mainly because season 1 had a few stinks. Yeah, the argument that Mando was basically a video game where it went from main quest to side quest to that was 100% real. There was a lot of bad episodes, but season 2 got saved because of what happened with Luke showing up. David says, I have no hope for season 3, especially after Boba Fett and saw he got Grogu. But again, especially the normies that haven't watched Boba Fett, when they saw this trailer, I had a couple people reach out to me like, why? How did that happen? What did I miss? So I told them, like, oh yeah, you got to watch Book of Boba Fett. They're like, no. They're like, didn't you say that was garbage? I was like, yep. They're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm waiting for them to announce that Grogu is the chosen one. Oh, it's gonna happen. He's the marketing chosen one. Let's see. Grogu was there and helped the other students escape when Luke went crazy. Probably. Angel Draven, yeah, it's not a KK problem. It's an ideology problem. Yep, 100%. If KK goes, nothing will change. Her followers are still there. Yeah, there's people aren't stupid. This is a systematic thing. They have people in place for this. Like, it's an ideology, as they said. The IP needs to be sold to get better. I 100% agree. Who would buy it, though? No idea. And if anyone does buy it, you're going to run into the same stuff, I feel like, because every company is the same. They have that ESG score or whatever that they have to abide by, so it's just, I don't know. Not to be black-pilled, but, I mean, what are we going to, She's honestly not the problem at all. Exactly. It's all of LucasArts. All Lucasfilm. It's them. Let's see. Star Wars is really popular in the LEGO community. However, it's Clone Wars era and OT era. No one cares about the sequels and other. Yeah, the Legos are massive when it comes to that. The resale value on some of them are pretty insane. Why is there a droid bar? That is a good point. Why are droids just hanging out? What are they drinking? What are they even in the bar for? Don't know. Flaccid says, I really want Star Wars to be good. I wish they would just jump to another time period and just go from there. I agree, man. I think all of us do. We want good stuff. We want Star Wars to be what we remember as our childhood, but I just don't trust these fools to do it. I don't think they're capable. And that was the thing. That's what pissed me off so much. There's literally like hundreds of EU books they could pull from that the stories are already written for them. It's already good stuff. Just take from there. Don't deviate. Don't change stuff. Just keep it as close as you possibly can. And you'd be fine. Nope. No idea. Crazy. True enemy of the Empire and Rebels is Black. Yeah, absolutely. That's a whole different stream, my friend. Go back to KOTOR time period and adapt the game. Yeah. Yep. Scott agrees. Give it the Last of Us treatment. Hopefully this sentence doesn't age badly. Yeah, so you know what? That's a good segue because that was one of my other lists here too. We'll talk about that real quick. And I'll kind of give you guys my thoughts. What did you all think, if any of you have watched it? So yeah, just to wrap up here, overall, the trailer was okay. Nothing crazy. It looks decent, right? This kind of scene was cringy, how when he comes out looking like a, samurai warrior, little Jet Li or something. It's kind of cringe, but other than that, So what do you guys think of The Last of Us? I thought so far, and if you guys have seen my review, it's pretty good. Like I'm going to give them credit where credit's due. I think it's pretty good. I think most people like it, besides, like obviously the race swaps and stuff, but I have to admit though, like I'm used to that by now. Like they don't even bother me as much anymore. It's like, whatever, they're going to do that. They have to check the boxes, right? They have to have diversity. So a redhead has to be this, and then we're going to change this to that, whatever. But Joel's daughter, like his actual daughter, the actress, did fantastic. She did really good. Like it's upsetting that she's no longer going to be in the show unless they do like flashbacks and stuff, right? But the adaptation so far after the first episode was really freaking good. And there was one thing I read. I read an article right before the show came out, and they were talking about how they want to minimize the amount of violence and only make it necessary so that it's more impactful. And when I first heard that, I was just like, that sounds lame to me, right? But when I saw it in action, it actually turned out pretty good, because the scene where Joel and what's her name are enter the Fireflies area, right, where the meetup is, where the selling of the battery went bad and the bodies were there. Instead of seeing that, it was cool to just see the after action. It's like, oh crap, like a shootout went down. Okay. And then when you just saw the violence with Joel, it was more impactful. So I thought overall, I know it's early. I know this company is woke and all that stuff, but I have to give credit where credit's due. And I really thought the episode was good so far. Again, it's one episode. I think there's going to be a total of 9. So we have a ways to go. They might change some more stuff. It might get stupid, but I don't care about that as of right now. Just episode 1. It was pretty freaking good. I have to give them credit. Let's see. Cajun says, wait until season 2 and they adapt part 2. Yeah, I've never played part 2. I've heard bad things. I heard what they did with Joel. I'm not a fan of what happened with Joel. I don't want to spoil it in case nobody knows. But, but other than that, I don't know. I have not played it. I love the first one. I played the first one like 3 times. David, you would enjoy part 2. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you like, and that's fine. I've heard some people like part 2 and some people don't. I don't know. Like I said, I've never played it, so I don't know. I liked it way more than the first game because I prefer gameplay over story. Oh, okay. That makes sense then. See, I never heard, I don't know the Last of Us 2 story, but the first story was phenomenal. That and like Red Dead Redemption 2 are probably my favorite story-driven games that are out there. I enjoyed The Last of Us, but I know nothing about it. Even going into it, you'll learn. I just didn't like how they changed the why. Like they had to include climate change. I don't see what the purpose was. The original one from the game, it was more of their food got infected. Like our food supply started getting infected with this virus. So when we started eating it, then it started that way and spread. This is now like climate change. So, it was so cringe. What? Last of Us was cringe? No, I know I'm behind on my chat, so I apologize if Groot scene? Let me know. Grogu. Okay. Yes, that oh, now I know what you're talking about. When he's doing the force push, that was so bad. That was so terrible. Ugh, I saw that. I shook my head. I was like, that's what you're going to end this on, that trailer? Garbage. But overall, the trailer was all right. Philip liked the first. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you did. Like I said, I want to enjoy things. I don't want to hate on stuff just to hate it. And so far, it's been pretty good. I don't like how much culture warriors have such a woke radar that they don't enjoy a good show because it has wokeness and cause of Last of Us Part 2. I will admit, it is hard. Like, once you're aware of stuff, it's hard to see past the red flags when they do pop up. So I do have to sometimes tell myself, like, okay, just don't worry about it. Like, it'll like for example, the climate change part. When that happened, I was like, I was watching and I was listening, and you know what? They did it well. They explained it well. It made sense, but I know why they did it. And I was just like, but it wasn't, it didn't kill it for me. It didn't destroy it or anything. Now, I will say this. There was another reason that I was reading an article from one of the showrunners about why they changed how it spreads. And if you remember from the game, you know, it's in the air, it's viral. So they had to sometimes wear the gas mask and stuff. Well, if you remember, what's his name? Pascal, whatever the hell his name is, the main actor, he doesn't like his face covered. So they changed that because he did not want to wear a gas mask very much in any of the scenes. And I understand that, right? You don't want everyone running around gas masks like 90% of the time. But it would have, they could have still did that correctly without having to make the change. So it's not the worst thing in the world, right? But it's some things it's like, it's not really necessary. First episode was amazing, and the world building was really good. Getting you involved in the characters, you know, like there's buy-in already. There's characters that you're invested in within one episode, and shows don't do that anymore. They don't do that very well anyway. So now we have buy-in. You automatically like Joel, you know, even though this Joel is nothing compared to the video game. I wouldn't say nothing, but it's not the same. But I think Pedro Pascal did a good job. Like, is that his name? Yeah. He did a good job portraying Joel. Even the girl who played Ellie, who kind of came off annoying, she did a good job. Like, I think she did well, and I'm interested to see how this progresses and continues to go. Also, Nadine, actress, looks beautiful. I'm assuming that's the daughter. Yeah, she was very, very pretty. She's a very pretty girl. And I think she did such a good job portraying the daughter for such a short amount of time. It kind of sucks that they took her out, but yeah, I would give it a chance, Corey. Look, I would give all this stuff a chance, right? Watch like the first episode or whatever of this stuff. Like Velma, when Velma was coming out, I heard it was junk. I heard it was garbage, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm 90% sure that is, but I'm going to watch at least the first episode just to confirm, because I don't like going off of what everybody else says, because sometimes it does get over. Some things get, you know, exaggerated and taken out of context. So, but in Velma's case, that was a complete crap show for sure. Don't play part 2. It's horrible. I liked the first episode, but I never played the game, so I have no reference. Yeah, it's pretty on point, especially the scene where they get in the car and they're trying to get out of town and all this stuff's going on. Like that's pretty spot on. There's a couple differences, obviously, but for the most part, it's pretty spot on. Part 2 had some great moments. Talking to David. Shake and Bacon, how's it going? Glad to see you're up and about. It really is hard to see past that garbage, trying to get better at it. Corey says, wait, Matt, didn't your hater complain you hate it? Yes. One of my beloved haters, I don't remember his name. Of course, I had a couple people that automatically, even though I said I liked the show, he was like, oh, how do you hate this already? You got triggered because of climate change, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, what's your mental illness is showing. Go, you know, go lay your smooth brain down and calm down. Angelus Draven, I'm at the point, it's not about woke, or it's not about, it's not about woke or not. It's about the company stands for. Yeah, and I understand that too. Let's see. Philip says, yeah, the gas mask was for the fungal spores. Yep. Yeah, and they wanted to do away with that because they didn't want them wearing gas masks during the game. So, yeah, I don't want to mention spoilers, so I'm not going to highlight some of these comments. Just because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you. I definitely recommend you checking it out because the first 30 minutes is very, very impactful. And it is, I will say this is a show, even though I knew it was happening, it did have that intensity going. Like there was buildup, there was intensity. And you're like, man, like this is getting crazy. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's David. Also, Matt, Fire Emblem Engage is a Nintendo game that comes out tomorrow. Strategy RPG. I still have to finish. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I am going to get the Hogwarts game for sure because that's pretty dope. That looks really cool. And I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan, but that game looks pretty cool. All right, so one more. I'm pretty sure I have. Is it this one? Or is it? No, it is this one. All right, I want to go over real quick. Yeah. I want to go over this trailer real quick. Scream 6 came out. Now, I'm not a big fan of... The last Scream was okay. My original review came out, and I liked it at first. Then the more I thought about it and saw it, I was like, it was all right. For a reboot, it was, it wasn't the greatest, whatever. But it was what it was. This looks bad, in my personal opinion. It doesn't look that good. But I'm still probably going to go see it just because Scream is one of my favorite horror franchises, right? And I have some theories that I'm going to talk to you about. So if you're a Scream fan, there you go. Angela says, I will see the new Scream. Are you excited about it, or are you kind of like, I'm a little but I am going to see it, and I do have a theory. So if you haven't seen the trailer, I recommend you check it. The trailer actually came out pretty good. My thing is, though, like, it being in New York City gives me the vibes of Jason when he takes over Manhattan. So I'm like, that's kind of lame. But so this trailer breaks out like where they run into this like bodega and they're like, oh my God, I'm being chased, whatever, right? Help me. And obviously Ghostface busts in, and this, New Yorker gets in his face like a typical New Yorker. Now I'm from New York City, so in real life, this guy probably would have got out of the way. But so you see the mask, how it's like an old mask. I think personally, and I've seen rumors and stuff. I don't know for sure. I think this is going to be a killer that comes back from the quote unquote dead. Who's the original killer? Not the one that's dead, obviously, the boyfriend. That this girl's, the new girl's, what's her name? This one's dad, right? Oh. This one. Her dad, I'm horrible with names. Not him, but the one that got crushed by the TV. Was his name Stu? Maybe it was Stu. I think they're talking about possibly bringing back one of the original killers and saying that he didn't die. And it would make sense if that's the case. Because, yeah, the original killer was Shaggy. Yep. Matthew Lizard's character. That's what I've heard. And it makes sense if you are looking at this because it's like an old mask, right? Lizards. Lillard. Yes, that's who I think that they're hinting at coming back. But overall, the trailer didn't look that bad. So obviously, they're in this bodega. He dispatches that guy, no problem, with his knife. And then the guy behind the counter pulls out a shotgun, shoots at him, which not many shotguns in New York City because of all the gun stuff. Obviously, he misses. Ghostface takes him out, and then takes him out with the good old 12. So there you go, David. There's the love of your life right there. Let's see. Yeah, Stu Marcher or Macker. I knew it was. I was pretty close. It was Stu. But yeah, so Stu originally died. Remember at the very original one, she pushed the TV on his head and it killed him, like fried him. Well, I remember seeing all this stuff with Twitter that they wanted him to come back, and that's how he's not gonna die, and like he's gonna somehow have survived and get out, because they never confirm, I guess, that he. I mean, I think it was pretty clear that he died, but they're saying it's possible that he didn't die. And the other reason why is they're bringing back another character from, was it Scream 4? What was her name in this one? Kirby. Now remember, Kirby died, and they brought her back. And they brought her back because the Twitter lunatics were also vouching and saying, "Oh, we want her back. We want her back. It would be so great to have her back." And they listened. So they listen to people on Twitter. Cage, I was going to say that's not realistic. No shotguns allowed in New York. Yeah, absolutely not. It's very, very rare that you're going to see a store clerk behind the with a shotgun. Like, that's just not, not a thing. David says Jenna Ortega. Oh, and I on break. Oh, you guys. Oh, my bad. My bad. But yeah, so like, because it's an old mask, right? And she's still reliving a lot of her past because of obviously of who her dad is. And they allude to that because she's like going through therapy and stuff. I think this is definitely going to be somebody from the past that's still alive. So this looks like it's towards the end of the movie because it looks like she's got like blood on her and stuff, and she's looking at the mask. So like after the fact, but I don't know. But again, so what's her name's back, and then what I thought was really cool during this trailer was they find this, like, I don't know, this like shrine, and it's all of like Ghostface stuff. Of course, Courtney Cox is back. She looks terrible, dude. She looks like a mutant, like a lizard person. She's got a lot of face work. They'll probably kill her off now because everyone else is gone. But I thought this scene was really interesting with all the stuff. So, but it comes out March, so I will definitely see this and review it. And then this scene too, like I said, this is where it looks like, Courtney Cox is talking on the phone with Face. I love that guy's face, man. Holy crap. Or the voice of Ghostface, like that guy who does the voice is so iconic, and he's back for it again. So they lose that voice, man. These movies are over. Like, there's no way they're going to continue that. But this was a cool little scene of her being attacked. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was skeptical of the last one. The posters for the last one were so awesome, but I was upset with kind of how it ended and the reasoning. It kind of got lame. But I don't know. I'm still gonna go see it. I am a little skeptical of how it's gonna be in New York, because it's such a big city. The subway scene looks really weird. Like, that's just not a thing. Like, if this was a real New York City subway, there'd be people like just openly taking a dump everywhere. Isn't this the guy from She-Hulk? The lawyer? That's what it looks like. And there's way too many dressed people for this to be a New York City subway. But yeah. It'll be interesting for sure. All right, so Angela says, yeah, I've been hearing that as well. I actually got to... Oh, did you really? Oh, that's pretty cool. There's another horror thing coming up that ETEP was talking about. I think it's going to be in Cincinnati, right? So I was looking up that. Because I was looking that up. I don't think that's that far. I might go check that out because I've always wanted to go to one of those things. Maybe it's a copycat killer who is a Scream buff. Yeah, could be. That would, yeah. Because, Stab. That's right. Yeah, or Stab buff, since the Scream movie is based on that. Yep. I was fine with it since Scream has always been meta, so it made sense with the killer in 5. Yeah, I know what they were like trying to aim at, right? They were aiming at like YouTubers and stuff, which, I took that personally, obviously. No, but like they're like, oh, like they they specifically said like, oh, I'm mad about, The Last Jedi, so I'm going to just kill a bunch of people. So that was the meta part didn't bother me. It was just like that weird, like, oh, I'm just a unhinged fan because I didn't get my way in a movie kind of thing. And again, it was more like The Last of Us, like the eye rolling part, like really didn't ruin it for me. I thought it was a good reboot of a series. It's just not the same without Nev Campbell, but I mean, you got to move on. So they got to keep it going. At this point, they should have just redid it completely and not have anyone in the old cast. And then Dewey, come on, man. Dewey, it's my boy. Or was it Dewey? Yeah, that was his name. Where's the homeless guy barefoot with his toes kicking up? Dude, yeah, back in the day, there used to be people that would ride the trains. It was like he had no legs, and he would just ride on a skateboard and just like push himself and collect money. I see him all the time. Where's him? Why isn't he in the movie? Where's that representation? People be taking a dump, stabbing each other and throwing someone on the tracks and that happens. Oh, okay, so that is Horror Hound, yeah. Yeah, I was looking that up. I might try to attend that. I was looking it up. I think it'd be fun to do. Yeah, it's definitely soft. I wish if they should just done a full on, maybe full reboot. But I don't know, it's all right. It'll be, I do like the storyline, how it's, this is the daughter of what's his name, so it's kind of carrying on that way. Like, it's cool. Like, but I feel like they're running out of thread, But who knows? We'll see. Yeah, R.I.P. Dewey. R.I.P. Dewey. That sucked. I didn't like that one bit. David says, I take the train every day going to college, and I stay as far away. Absolutely, man. Always have your back to the wall. Like, yeah, those idiots that I see would stand like right there in the yellow paint. I'm like, you're a moron. Even if you just slip, you're done. But yeah, so I don't know. I'll definitely see this movie and do a review on it. Even some older movies too. I'm gonna start doing reviews on for you guys. So if you're interested in movie reviews, just kind of be prepared for that. Just stuff that I've either never seen before. Like I said, I am upping my editing and whatnot, so some of my reviews do take a little bit longer. I know I've been promising Orville forever. I am working on it. I'm just working on editing and stuff, and I do everything myself. I don't have editors. I don't, have anyone do anything for me. I do all my own thumbnails, so I'm working on things. It just does take time balancing life, full-time job, this. So, but yeah, I think she'll probably die in this one, but yeah, like I said, I'll definitely go see it, and do a review on it for sure. Like I said, I love horror movies. Draven says, awesome, man. Bruce Campbell and Pitt. Yeah, I did see that because I looked it up online and I saw that Bruce Campbell is going to be there. I'm excited just for Bruce Campbell. That's dope if I can meet him, because I did see, what was it? The newest Evil Dead movie looks pretty wild. Even though it has nothing to do with Bruce Campbell, I think he's involved somehow, like as a producer. That trailer is nuts, man. I don't even think I could show it on YouTube, like on my channel, because it's gory, man. Oof. I always get flashes of some meth out weirdo pushing me, and that Portland video that lady put. Yeah. Yep. I always be prepared, and don't trust anybody when it comes to that stuff, especially out in the public. I assume the subway train is the very start of the movie, since she was the one of the survivors of the last one. Yeah, they were all on there. It does look like it too. If you notice, that's the only scene where his mask is clean, unless again there's two killers and one killer is wearing an old mask and then this one's wearing a newer one, but who knows. Yeah, it does. Megan had a trailer for it and it was awesome. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty sick for sure. But yeah, guys, I think that's about gonna do it. Just to give you guys some updates. Like I said, I have some more reviews coming out. I'll do my normal videos. For the member stream, for Philip, again, welcome as a new member. I do those streams on Sunday mornings, so I don't know what we're covering yet, but we cover all kinds of stuff. I do comic book reviews with the members videos as well. So if that's something you're interested in, like I said, and I'm going to be doing probably some watch parties coming up soon, especially for members. So keep that in mind. If that's something that you guys want to do and participate in. And I am definitely not doing a Velma episode 3 and 4 review. No way. I'm not watching any more of that show. I can't do it. This is no way. I can't put myself through it. I watched the first episode and I was like, nope, it's not getting my time. I can't do it, my friend. That's too much burnout for me. But yeah, keep an eye out. Like I said, I'll have some stuff coming out soon. More news videos as always. Like I said, movie reviews, and then I want to do more stuff streaming wise too. Like I said, either watch parties, maybe I'll do another stream on the weekend. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I can do some bad shows sometimes, but I need a cleanser, right? Like The Last of Us was a good cleanser. Watching some of this stuff, it really hurts my brain. Like She-Hulk was at least laughable. I got to enjoy that, laughing at it because it was fun. It was like so bad it was funny. Velma is just cringe, insulting, bad. Like I feel bad that they're that incompetent that they did that. You know what I mean? Like I think on the scale of what's worse, She-Hulk or Velma, Velma's worse. Velma's worse than She-Hulk, for sure. Yeah. So, Matt suffered enough brain damage watching Velma. Yeah, one episode of Velma, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. I've like my brain smoothed out just by watching one episode. By the time I got to the last episode of the season, it would be like in the thumbnail, my brain would be the size of like this, like a little golf ball just up here, bouncing around because there's no way I can handle it. And yeah, Scooby is now a black woman, but with an I. Remember, it's with an I, Scott. How insulting. Jesus. She-Hulk was just a waste of time. I unironically laughed because of how dumb Dennis sounded being over. Yeah, I mean, there were some parts there that weren't supposed to be funny that you're like laughing at because it was. But yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, that wraps up the stream, guys. Like I said, I'm going to have some more videos coming out this week. I'm going to have more reviews coming out. I'll post everything in the community tab so you guys won't get to miss anything. I will have the member stream on Sunday. Again, not sure yet what exactly we're going to be covering, but I'll have that there. So keep that in mind. But thank you all for hanging out with me. I love streaming with you guys on Thursdays. Like I said, I may be open to another stream during the week if that's something you all want to do. I'll put it out, maybe a poll or whatever. That way I can try to figure it out and schedule it. But thank you all the channel members, David, Philip for joining, Bobby, Pops, I haven't seen him today. I talked to him earlier. Scott, Cajun, all you guys, Angelus Draven. Again, check out his channel if you guys like wrestling. He's got some good stuff over there. Who else was here earlier? I don't want to miss anybody, and if I do, I'm sorry ahead of time. Execute Order Shills. How can I miss him? But yeah, guys, but keep in mind, I will be doing probably a Mandalorian review so we can laugh at Star Wars. So that's always fun. But yeah, you all have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. Have a safe weekend. Have a good weekend, relaxing. And I will check you guys all out next week. So stay safe, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. See you guys.